Your body heals when you rest, not when you're grinding, not when you're powering through exhaustion. Rest felt dangerous because in survival, slowing down can cost you. Slowing down can mean you're missing an opportunity, you're losing a job, or you're letting someone down. So rest isn't just sleeping, okay? There are actually different types of rest. And depending on what you're going through, one type may be more beneficial or more helpful than another. Rest is not laziness, it's fuel. Rest isn't selfish, it's resistance. Rest is not wasted time, it is strategy. That rest is not convenient. It's not something that you have time for. It's something that you have to make time for, okay? So today we're doing things a little differently, y'all. I am running off of very little sleep because I have been dealing with a lot of sleepless nights lately. So in the spirit of not pushing through, in the spirit of honoring my body, I wanted to still do this video because, hey, that's what I set out to do. But I also wanted to do it in a restful state. So I decided to do a yoni steam while I do this video today. So I'm about to first put some of these herbs inside of my yoni steam machine. So this has stuff like rose petals, mugwort, lavender, red raspberry leaf, motherwort, cinnamon sticks, like a lot of good things for your yoni. And then I put water in this machine. Like, I have to make sure I use spring water. I don't want to have tap water just flowing into my yoni. And here the water is steaming, so I set it on like a temperature of 5. I wait till it gets really warm, and then I sit over it and enjoy. Here's something that most people don't realize. Your body heals when you rest, not when you're grinding, not when you're powering through exhaustion, not when you're ignoring the signals that your body has been screaming at you to take a pause. Healing happens when you are still, when you take a break. Your brain processes trauma while you sleep. Your nervous system resets in stillness. Your immune system repairs itself when you stop running. So why do so many of us run from the very thing designed to help us thrive? It's because we've been taught to believe that rest is laziness. But let me tell you, honey, rest isn't weakness. Rest is medicine. And in this video, I'm going to help you see rest in a way that you probably never have before. You're going to learn a few things, okay? The science of why rest is medicine for your mind and body, why rest will never feel convenient, and how to make it a non-negotiable. And the 7 different types of rest and exactly when each one is most helpful. And lastly, practical ways to weave rest into your daily life, even if you don't feel like you have time for it, okay? By the end of this video, you'll walk away with the tools and the mindset to stop feeling guilty for slowing down and start using rest as a real life healing strategy. Most of us weren't raised to believe that rest was normal. We were taught to perform, to prove, to push through. If you're a Black woman, a Black man, if you grew up in survival mode, if you've ever been the strong one in your family, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Rest didn't feel safe. Rest felt dangerous because in survival, slowing down can cost you. Slowing down can mean you're missing an opportunity, you're losing a job, or you're letting someone down. But here's the science. When your body has been under stress for a long time, your nervous system stays stuck in fight or flight. And that's when you're flooded with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And it keeps you alert, like hypervigilant all the time. But here's the problem. You can't heal in fight or flight. Your body only repairs itself in the opposite state, and that is rest and digest. That's when your heart rate slows down, your breathing deepens, and your body says, okay, it's safe now. We can repair. But if you never allow yourself rest, your body never gets to repair. And that's why so many of us live exhausted and think it's normal. So let's break this down, okay? First, rest regulates your nervous system. Rest takes your foot off of the gas pedal. It lets your nervous system shift into calm mode. And this is where your body actually feels safe again. Number 2, rest repairs the body. Muscles rebuild, hormones balance, inflammation calms down. Without rest, healing stalls. And number 3, rest restores your mind. Your brain processes emotions, clears mental clutter, and even boosts creativity when you step away. This is why reframing rest isn't about being soft, okay? It's about survival. Your body literally cannot heal without it. And here's the thing, if you don't reframe how you see rest, you'll keep treating it like a luxury, something that you squeeze in if you finish everything else. But let me be real with you, okay? You will never finish everything else. There will always be another email, another chore, another person who needs your attention, another crisis waiting to pop up, okay? So if you keep seeing rest as optional, you will keep running your body on fumes. And here's the dangerous part. Your body will eventually force you to rest, but it won't be the kind of rest that you want. It'll be burnout. It'll be a breakdown. It'll be your body shutting down in a way that takes you out of your life instead of filling you back up for it. So reframing rest is important because it's how you stop waiting for life to give you permission. It's how you stop making your healing conditional. It's how you start seeing rest as a part of the work, not a break from it. Because when you truly reframe rest, it becomes non-negotiable, like eating, breathing, hydrating, okay? Part of your identity. You're not someone who rests when they can. You're someone who protects your peace as fiercely as you work your job, take care of your family. It's a daily investment, the thing that gives you more capacity, more creativity, and more clarity for the life that you're building. Because here's the truth, right? The world is not going to slow down. It's not going to slow down for you. It's not going to slow down for me. If you want to live, heal, and show up in your fullness, you have to choose to show yourself that compassion and slow down. And that starts with reframing what rest actually is and what it's for. And I learned this the hard way, okay? I didn't learn this from a book, okay? I learned it from breaking down, okay? There was a time that I refused to slow down. I thought that hustle was the way out. I had to work harder, push harder, carry more, until I started waking up in the middle of the night with panic attacks, my heart racing, my brain is all over the place, right? And screaming at me that I was failing at life. But you know what? I kept pushing until I broke. And you know where I ended up? In the psych ward, okay? That wasn't healing. That was trauma stacked on top of trauma. And then I realized something, that my body had been begging me to rest. Because I didn't listen, it forced me to stop. I didn't have a choice. From that point forward, though, I stopped treating rest like a luxury. I started treating it like medicine. Like, do you know people who are always sick, right? Like, you see they're working hard, they're getting things done, never take a day off, or always, on high alert, and they always get sick. They stay sick, always got a cold, always got something, always sick, always got a cold, always got some type of infection all the time. It's because their body is trying to force them to rest. That could possibly be you, right? If that's happening to you, it's like your body is forcing you to rest. You're not taking the cues, you're not taking the signs. So the only way that your body is going to get you to rest is to make you sick. It makes you sick and then you rest, but it's not the kind of rest that really fills you up. It's not the kind of rest that makes you feel like, whew, that's just what I needed. It's the type of rest that puts you on your back and you can't do anything else. And you're like, why did this happen? But then you go through the same cycle. You work hard, you don't take a break, you don't rest, and then you get sick again. You feel better, then you work hard, don't take a break, keep going, run yourself into the ground, and then you get sick again. It's like the only time that your body is allowed to rest is when you're sick. With you, okay? Rest is not convenient and it's not supposed to be. You will never find time for rest because something else, like I said earlier, will always demand your attention. I want to reiterate that because the job, the kids, the bills, the spouse, the emails, it's always something. So rest has to be a conscious choice that you make daily and often. It's not about waiting for the perfect time. It's not about waiting, until your to-do list is finished because, hey, that's never going to happen, right? You're going to always have something to do. As long as you're living, you're going to have something to do. I promise you. So when you do everything else right and you don't take that time for a break, you feel heavier. But when you rest, you do everything with so much lighter. You feel so much better in your body when you take that time for you. And did you know that there are different types of rest? So rest isn't just sleeping, okay? There are actually different types of rest. And depending on what you're going through, one type may be more beneficial or more helpful than another. So let's break this down. Number one, physical rest. That's sleeping, napping, stretching, letting your body restore. And this is most helpful when, maybe you're sore, you've been working out, you're feeling depleted, you're running on empty, or you're physically overworked. Mental rest. That gives your brain a break from decision making, from overthinking, from constant stimulation. And this is most helpful when you can't focus, when your thoughts are all over the place. They keep racing and you're like staring at your computer screen in a fog. Then you have emotional rest, and that's allowing yourself to release, okay, to cry, to express yourself instead of bottling everything up. And this is most helpful when you're carrying everyone else's emotions. You're performing strength, or you're pretending that you're okay when you know damn well you're not, okay? And then we have spiritual rest. That is reconnecting to something greater than yourself, okay? Whether that's God, universe, source, nature, or purpose. And this is most helpful when you just feel lost in life, when you feel disconnected, hopeless, or like you're just going through the motions. And then we have sensory rest, and that is unplugging from screens, from noise and overstimulation. And this is most helpful when your eyes hurt, your phone notifications are draining you, or you just feel overstimulated by noise. Social rest. This is stepping away from people who drain you, okay, and leaning into relationships that actually nourish you. So this is most helpful when you are peopled out, okay, you're stretched thin, or you're exhausted from constantly being on for others. And then we have creative rest. And this is stepping back to refill your imagination, letting inspiration return by doing nothing. And this is most helpful when you feel uninspired, or you're stuck, or burnt out creatively, when ideas feel forced instead of, them flowing. When I learned this, everything shifted, because sometimes what I needed wasn't more sleep, even though I could use more sleep now. It was silence, or boundaries, or time with friends. Rest isn't a one size fits all. It's multidimensional. So let's reframe this once and for all, okay? Rest is not laziness, it's fuel. Rest isn't selfish, it's resistance. Rest is not wasted time, it is strategy. Rest isn't weakness, it's reclamation. Here are a few ways to put this into practice starting today, okay? Write yourself a permission slip and say, I don't have to earn rest. I am worthy of stillness, and sign your name on that, okay? And put it up on your refrigerator, on your mirror, to remind yourself of this so you can see it every single day. Schedule rest before burnout, okay? Put it on your calendar like a meeting. Go to your Google Calendar, or if you have a physical calendar, go to it and put, hey, on this day, I'm going to rest for 10 minutes doing this, or I'm going to rest on this day. Like, make it just a part of your routine. Schedule it out. Put it on your calendar. And then don't miss that appointment with yourself. Practice micro rest. So for 5 minutes, sit in silence, or take a walk without your phone, or lie down and do some deep belly breathing. Those are a few ways that you can start implementing rest into your life today. It doesn't have to be this grand gesture. It doesn't have to take hours and hours of time. It can take 5 minutes. It can take 20 minutes. It can take an hour. Whatever you have, you can work with it. But it's about making that choice to show up for yourself, because you are worth it. You are worth it. So let me say it again, because some people don't be listening. Okay, let me say it again. So if you remember nothing from this video, remember that rest is not convenient. It's not something that you have time for. It's something that you have to make time for, okay? As if your life depends on it, because it does. Rest is not laziness. It is medicine. It is survival. If no one has told you lately, you are allowed to stop. You are allowed to soften. You are allowed to rest, not as a reward, but as a right. So before you go, I want to put something in your hands that's going to make this whole conversation about rest and real life healing even more doable. It's my Healing While Hustling manifesto. Yeah. And it's not something that you just skim and forget about. This manifesto will cost you 3 things, okay? A little bit of your time so you can actually take it in, okay? A commitment to yourself, because because you deserve to put your well-being first, and a commitment to action, because nothing changes if you don't use it. Okay, so it's a short but very powerful read, right? It's packed with the core values that keep me healing while still showing up for life's responsibilities. Okay, it has several daily micro healing practices that you can fit into your real world schedule, even when it feels like there's no time. And then the mindset shifts that help you break free from survival mode and start living with more ease, more purpose, and energy. It gives you practical ways to care for your nervous system so that you can stay grounded in the middle of chaos. So this is not just theory. These are the exact tools that I use to protect my peace while working, by being a single parent, by, while I build this brand. So if what I've said today about reframing rest is landing with you, the manifesto is your next step. Set aside the time, okay? Make the commitment to yourself and take action on it. And you'll start to see that healing isn't something that you have to fit in. It's something that you can live every single day. You'll find the link in the description below. So go get it and let it be your reminder that you can heal while hustling without burning yourself out, because we ain't trying to burn ourselves out. I'm Coach Nicole Amai, the real life healing coach. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. And before we go, I know I said that before we go, but in the comments, I want you to tell me, what type of rest do you need to work on? Like, what is really calling out for you? Is it physical rest? Is it sensory rest? Is it spiritual rest? Like, what is your body craving for? And if you found this episode valuable, you know the deal already. Okay, share the information, share the knowledge, because if this helped you, if this gave you something that you needed, I'm sure there's someone else in your circle, in your tribe, that could benefit from this. And remember, you can't be growing, you can't be changing, you can't be healing and stuff and not sharing it with your community. So share this video with at least one person today who you know would benefit from it. And until next time, I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.